Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye. And we're going to go ahead and do the monthly July 2025 Fire Signs Psychic Medium Astrological reading. All right, so, in June, fire signs popped off. And they didn't know what was going on. And they couldn't even see it coming whatsoever. That you really have to pull out the gold tarot. What did they do that was gold, that set the tone to the ringtone to everything in July? What did they do? You couldn't make it up. It really was like transference. Transference means like they put in their like leave of absence slip. They put in their transfer to like funds and bank accounts. They put in everything that was known to get it done on something because they were tired with whatever came through. Oh my gosh. They cried. It really hurts what happened in June, especially when they couldn't see anything still because of that June full moon and that new moon. It like cut out whatever happened, and they got a glip and a blip that the Page of Swords comes through in reverse and says it's still a standstill. Like they're stagnant. There's no flow through. So when they actually try and like work with other people, maybe like counseling or getting back on track, they do sit well. It really is because of Gemini, but that the like I'm sitting and I'm even like dazed and confused for a second. You really had to stare at them like, what was your decision making on your process fire signs to alleviate a burden? And I'm not yelling at them. I'm really not, because everyone around them is laughing like you couldn't believe what they did. It really was a poked fun. There's no victory. What did they do that actually stopped everything, even to the globe, the world? Yeah, I can't even make this up. When I see this and I see this 10 of cups, I go, they're really contented. They really are. When I say I'm using the same words over and over again, it really wasn't that hard. There's no logic. When I look at this and I go, holy cow, this was easy. You mean you could just file one piece of paper and it was done? Outlook, they can see maybe by November they have recovery. Confirmed. Straight answer logic, just straight logic for fire signs. I don't know why like this was happening with air signs also. This is the worst reveal ever. When you see this and you see the 7 of Wands, you just come get me now. Just come get me now. And knock on the door because I'm done. The Hermit. Living alone. They like planned on living alone. A living lone. Like I see them in their head. There's living lone. Living lone. Spell it. Spell lone. Lone Ranger. Alone. LOAN. You're going to live off alone. Really? This was heinous regard. I see Judicial saying that. Like, what was your thinking? Did you even show up to work? Yep, we did. Queen of Cups means that intuitively it was gold on what they did. They actually listened to intuitive measure and not instinct. And that is what fired them up, but they weren't true fire signs. They were more water signs. And when I look at this, it really was a walking away so harsh that you had to say, what were you thinking? I was not clear and I was not anything. When I see this and I go, it really does alleviate a lot of things. It does. When you see the sun in reverse, though, with the 10 of Swords, is fulfill wishes long term. They thought long term, these guys. It was a little bit greedy. Is it okay to be greedy, fire signs? Let's look at another deck. Oh my gosh. What did you do? What did you do, fire signs? I see them going. No. Yep. I'm not telling you. Figure it out. When I look at it, you can't reverse time. That stands at time in reverse. And nothing was up in the air. It was not planned. It was like solid plans. And it went right down the line to the dates. They followed it. So, like, the way it is, like, on the 13th, they're literally looking at bank accounts. They're looking at balancing money, having second to maybe a third job. They're planning on not being home because they can't fix it and they're not qualified for anything. They're so angry. They're just setting their course still in July. That's all they're doing. They already know their path, so this is path unknown. The King of Horses goes, you really did work your energy well, masculine, because it went straight to like a continuance on in courts, all forms of court, even out in the public, on being like judged on something. To actually, it's comical. Unfulfilled wishes, yeah, there really is. So when I look at it, and I have to say, the architect, it wasn't built, but as you get out of it, it's here it is, summer and winter again. I don't know why I don't like this. You can't even talk to your ancestors. That's heinous. Those who are fire signs and psychic mediumship, like I'm not hearing a whole lot of mediumship. Like it's hard. I don't like that. So let's actually look at the Hoka cards, and then we'll look at the Animal Oracle for them. So, July, fire signs. What do they need to know? Their natal charts. It's obscured. Fire signs, natal charts are obscured. You're not to know it. You're not to say no to it. Whatever happens. Ace of Diamonds, Four of Spades. Let's look. When you see this, you go, oh my gosh. 2 jacks to the 4 of diamonds to the King of Hearts. It's a flush. To the Jack of Diamonds to the 3 of Spades. The 5 of Spades is going to say, I can't even understand it. It's even mixing out for me. I'm not even supposed to know or say it. Just go along with whatever happens. Fire signs, you did it well. You can't even do. Here we go. Let's look at the Animal Oracle. What do they need to know? Here we go. They don't have a whole lot of tolerance in July. Like maybe 15, 20 minutes. They're rizzy. I haven't said that word in a really long time. They're rizzy. So when you see it and you go unicorn to oyster, they're really focusing on what has happened already. They're really studying everything, like in the public, and then they're studying like everything in their family, in their home, and reevaluating. They're like heinous regard. They're already solidified. They're like everything. The crow, literally, they're by the end of the month they're using the moon cycles to do like witchcraft, like clearing, cleansing, attuning. Nightingale, I heard the message through the wind. There's something like odd about what's going on, to where it's like happened before. When you see the beaver, it's happened before. But in Appalachia, when you see the beaver, it's a like a plumbing, like a black up, like a black up. It's a black up. Cobra, owl. I feel like there's something like rooted, like Native American. When I see the bear, it really is already known when you see your bear. And when you see this and you see the gazelle, you go, holy cow, holy cow. When you look at it and you say, no can do, no can do. Not till it's done. Because look at this prism, look at this prism. You're actually looking at the way elements come like towards you, even to when you're just doing hygiene. Something about Native American. When you see lizard fire signs, you can't even believe it. Oh Lord. Here we go. I can't even do peach moonstone. Peach moonstone runes. When you look at this and you go, no, no, it really is true. I see them actually like hard on press. It would actually be so hard to say it was true. It was true. This wheel of luck, like down to a spoke wheel, like playing bear pong was almost offensive and like derogatory. And when you look at it, it came in really strong with Pertho, Ewas, and Manas, because when you actually go about it, holy cow, the living, like open fate, which means you couldn't control like a portal at all, like the energy of that portal just flowing through. It had wealth to where you actually see this when people maybe are doing, when I hear collecting, it's not actually collecting like collections or anything like that. It actually is something of this nature. It was okay to be defensive, fire signs. It really was. That's all the runes want you to know. That you made the best decisions for your own self. Based on that fact. Based on that fact. Here we go. So let's look at the Light Seers Tarot. And then we'll look at the Crystal Quartz. What else for these fire signs? What else? They're not hearing. They're not hearing. Here we go. You literally are like, oh my God, when they're sleeping, that face I just made makes you make it up. When you see the Five of Pentacles, oh my gosh, to the Two of Wands, to the Sun, to the Hierophant, you actually have to be highly dictative. They're so like almost overdone of COVID, bird flu precautions. I can't even make this up. Balance. I feel like all of a sudden it really was like fire signs and water signs saying like it might be best to watch your travel and limit your contact. You don't know what was coming in with all this stuff. The Seven of Pentacles goes, holy cow, like planting is not well. When you see the King of Pentacles, greed It's okay to be a little bit greedy, saying, no, I'm going to keep my Venmo to myself and I'm going to go get what I need. And then literally saying it was okay. It really was. When you go to the Four of Wands and you see this to the Ten of Wands, alleviation of burden, like not big picnics all of a sudden. That's what fire signs. It's just something about chaos. Chaos. Here it is. They're really defensive about like any type of inhibitions and addictions. Fire signs in July. They're really defensive about how it goes about, on how it can be like right underneath your nose and you can't even smell it. And when you say it that way, you go, I already know. I already know. Let's look at the crystal quartz. Like star regard, they're really planetary measure. They're not measured by the planets. Air signs was not going to be measured by like stars, moons, and planets. It really was like honor, like absolute honor, where you can't even do at all. Like do it. You can't even be it, no matter what it was. But let me tell you, fire signs, like the constellations, like almost a lineup of constellations that comes in, and they're highly dictated with them. It's not so much the moons or the planets or the energy. That is what's going to be the driving force. Um, it's like almost like a rebuilding of instinct for them. So that's all you need to know. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. It's greatly appreciated. Readings and classes, patreon.com, jennifer.peck. And then I say, he goes, like, people are like throwing like words in my mouth again. Can't even say it hard enough. But in actuality, you can't even do. You can't even do. When you see it, you actually go through it to the highest extent of all. And there he goes. That is the way fire signs is going to be. So let's look at the Wild Unknown Tarot. It was not done. It was a lie. And that's what pisses them off. I'm allowed one swear day. And they say that, and that's what pissed them right off. So when you see the Chariot and you actually threw the Three Swords, it really hurts what actually drives through. That's why they were so intuitive in June and so like locking it down, because they're like, I don't know why, like I gotta be like, I look like a hoarder. They're gonna sit pretty well in July, fire signs, because like the lack of everything. When you see the Ten of Pentacles to the Two of Wands in reverse, holy cow. To the Mother of Pentacles, I have to say, what was true? Eight of Swords, not even a true. Not even a true. Can't even do. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be deceitful. It's gonna be like a smoke and mirrors effect. That's what they're gonna look like. But with that being said, readings and classes, patreon.com, Jennifer Peck. Subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And that's all you need to know. All of a sudden, at the end of the month for higher signs, there's no logic. And that's what I had to show you. So, that being said, have a good day, and we will talk to you soon.